Let me go to the lines. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yes, hi. I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, of the two candidates, the two individuals that are there,
They're not candidates.
two individuals that are there, I'd just like to ask them, of the people that are running for mayor at this time or prospective candidates, is there anyone of them that they would support?
Thank you for your question.
Well, let me respond, although I'm sure Jim has a lot to say about this. A lot of people, I think probably 7 or 8, have made known their intentions to run, or certainly have expressed strong interest in being the next mayor. But as the months go by, based on past experience, my guess is that list of people is going to dwindle. And there are some good people who have announced their interest and their intention. So I think it's probably a little bit too early to say at this point who should be the priority, who should be the preferred candidate. I would suggest that you watch carefully the developments over the next 6 or 7 months, and there may not be that many folks who are running, and you may have an easier time in making a choice.
Right. Jim, you got an opinion on it?
Well, I think politically it's far too early to be talking about which candidate do you support or which candidate don't you support. Jim's right. There will be a narrowing as time goes along. And I have no problems when we get down the line and really see what we've got, saying who I like or don't like. I'll do that at a point, but I think it's too early right now. I'll tell you the person who I really had hoped that would be interested and would stay around and all like that. I'll tell you what, one person I really liked and thought she would make a great mayor, and that was Lisa Blunt.
Yeah, Lisa Bradley. Okay.
I tried to get her to stay. She's over in China.
How you doing? You have a question? Welcome to the show.
Hi, this is Terrence Dunn. You have a question?
Hey, look, turn your TV down.
I'm trying to figure out. All right. Turn the TV down. I'm calling to see. There's a lot of jobs out here, and a lot of people out here discriminating on people that got felonies and stuff like that, and they can't really get jobs. I'm trying to figure out, is it a possibility or any type way you can help people, get jobs on felonies?
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, there are a lot of responses to that question. It goes back to something that I referred to earlier, and that is having organized citizen groups in a position to influence the legislative process. The General Assembly is the one, the body that has decision-making control over who can vote and who can't, and I would...
Who can work.
Yeah, and I would agree that ex-inmates and felons are discriminated a great deal in this city, in this state, and the General Assembly, our state General Assembly, needs to adopt policies that make it easier for people to get jobs and to vote, and especially people who have served their time in prison. But being able to make those changes requires action. It requires
that's
organization.
The theme of the night. That's the theme of the night. Yeah. Organization, action.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's something that can be done, but it requires having a stronger lobbying presence in the Delaware General Assembly and demanding that a group that's pretty much disenfranchised at this point to have their rights restored.
Like, one of the things that needs to change is that if you are a felon, you get out, you've got 5 years before you can have not a pardon, but a, what's the?
Pardon?
It is a pardon, right? A pardon. That stays with you all the time.
Then
every employer
restitution and everything
gets that, and they know, and therefore it makes it very, very difficult. there were laws. Senator Peterson put in that bill that took away some of the restrictions that said if you were a felon, you weren't allowed to deal with money, any kind of computerization.
Wow.
You're not allowed to do hairdressing in certain cases. I mean, there's a whole list of things. So there are very tough problems. There are programs that need to be in place where you have total help, housing, how to get a job. The person who has a felon also has to change their own mindset. They have to look at the world differently too. It can't be just the way I was and I'm going to stay the same because it won't work. The best programs in the country is where the felon goes through a program, they deal with their attitudes and all like that, and it makes it easier for them when they do approach someone for a job. We have, for the city, we have had positions that we have had for people who are former felons. I know one guy now is up in a supervisory role.
Oh, good.
But that's few because we can't hire everybody.
All right, I'm going to try to get to as many phone calls as I can.
Okay.
I know a lot of folks have questions for you guys, so we're just going to try to get it. And again, I appreciate both of you guys coming on. And we have to get something named in you guys' honor. I don't care what you guys say. That's just me speaking. I don't care. I'm a rebel when it comes to this. because you guys, I mean, the bottom line is it's going to be history. I mean, people are going to be reading books, 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
They'll probably forget the
No. I mean, it's historic. You can't do nothing about history. It's like when I was telling you, I was looking at the tape about Black Magic, about black guys not being able to participate in basketball. You know, and when Ted Blunt gave me that tape, it's incredible. And Theo, if you have a question, you could text me because I see you had called earlier. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Norm. This is Pastor D. How you doing?
How you doing?
First of all, I want to thank both of our former mayors for making the case as only they can for formerly incarcerated people and for their practical endorsement. But on a serious note, Norm, I want to ask both of our former mayors if they believe that it is time in the city of Wilmington that with respect to the run for the mayor's office, that we believe in the possibility, and I understand Mayor Baker's point about needing to know governance and needing to understand all of the complexities of the office. But certainly both of them undertook the job while they had some political experience. They undertook the job and were pioneers. And do they think that it's time in our city that we trusted and believed in the possibilities of people who maybe have not held political office before, but certainly bring the passion, the commitment, the dedication, and the willingness to serve?
And thank you, Pastor D.
If he's asking, and I think he is.
I think he's asking, should you vote for him?
Well, I think he's asking whether we are willing and whether we have some responsibility to contribute our experience and our knowledge, having served, for me, in office, Jim still in office, to aspiring candidates. And I think the answer is yes. Right. We do have that responsibility. And for not only people who are aspiring to be mayor, but other offices, good people who are aspiring for other elective offices. And I, for one, if I'm called upon to share my knowledge and my experience, of course I'll do that.
Yeah, I've always done that anyways with candidates. My feeling again is that the people or persons who have to run the city government, because we have an inverted pyramid when it comes to what you can or cannot do and the resources. The federal government gets most of the money. Then the state gets the money. Then the county gets the money. And who's on the bottom? The smallest entity is called the city. You have to really know what you're doing. And I mean, it's not about passion. We all have passion, and I have plenty of passion because I can tell you to go to hell in a minute.
You can say that on this show.
So,
only this show.
But no, I'll say it on anybody's show. But I think that Yes, I think people who are dedicated, sure. People who are willing to learn, yes, because you do have to learn.
Let me take 2 more questions and then we're going to close
go
up.
ahead.
Go ahead. You on?
They're still talking.
Yeah. Hello, you're on.
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Mayor Baker. I'd like to know why was Layton Home closed down?
Thank you.
Layton Home was closed down because they couldn't afford to operate it. They were losing money, and the federal government gave them a period of time to come together and try to make it work. They could not do it. The city actually borrowed money to keep them alive and to keep them working and to keep the place open. The problem was they just could not make it financially, and they had to close. So that's why Layton Home closed. It wasn't, out of all of the senior living facilities in the state, basically all of their patients were Medicare.
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 Hold up.